Chapter 168, Blood Spilled on the Arena. Haruji, as the teacher in charge, had been conflicted about who to send to the stage for a full 14 minutes. At the last minute, he made his decision. 15 minutes was the maximum time limit. In the end, Haruji did not send Rankhan on stage. Rankhan was his last hope of turning the tables in this battle exchange. He was also the only person who had a chance of killing Zutue. Haruji knew very well that it was very difficult to achieve both goals at the same time, but at the very least, he had to achieve one. Of course, deep down in his heart, he still had the extravagant hope of achieving both goals. Haruji chose an extreme branch cultivator whose strength should be similar to Zhang Changtai, who was sent by Wuxia. He had a high chance of winning if he fought hard. However, Haruji had underestimated the fighting spirit and determination of the students from the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. Wen Xinglin's encouragement before the battle had raised their fighting spirit to a boiling point. However, Kai Hongying's battle results had set a benchmark for others. I don't need you to have a winning streak like Zutue. You should be able to win one round, right? Otherwise, everyone would only use one word to describe him. You don't even have the guts of a woman. You don't even dare to risk your life. In fact, Kai Hongying's courage was something that many men could not compare to. Coupled with Zutue's consecutive victories, the morale of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College had been boosted. On the contrary, the morale of the India sector's exchange delegation fell into a state of fear. Not even Haruji could change that anytime soon. The two strongest trump cards were killed in the arena. One of them was even killed under the full protection of the referee on duty. Who wouldn't be afraid? Although the arena was not narrow, there was no doubt that the brave ones were stronger. The battle between extreme branch cultivators was still extremely tragic. It could be said that every move was fatal. In the end, one of Zhang Chanta's arms was temporarily crippled, but he managed to severely injure his opponent until he fainted on the spot. It was only because of the referee on duty in the India sector that they managed to survive. The difficult question was handed back to Haruji. This made Haruji hate Zutune even more. It was extremely difficult to make a decision when another one was defeated. However, considering the advantages of the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College, there was another strong candidate besides Zutune and Kuizimio Huanshan. He was an earth element superb individual from the mystery branch. Cultivators of the extreme branch were limited by physical strength and melee combat in the arena. It was difficult for them to fight continuously unless they were much stronger than their opponents. However, it was different for those from the mystery branch. They had a higher chance of winning consecutively. Then, Haruji sent a second-year student from the extreme branch to the arena. He wanted to kill Zhang Changtai first. This time, Zhang Changtai wisely followed the suggestion of his mentor, Hunan Cong. He went down the stage. He had obtained a victory, but he had lost the chance to enter the arena again. This time, it was the earth element superb individual, Miao Huanshan, who Haruji had been worried about, that went onto the arena. There was not much suspense in the battle. Even Kai Hongying, who was extremely fierce and brave, had been defeated by Miao Huanshan. Let alone the students from India sector, whose morale had plummeted. He won without any losses. The moment the Earth Hammer knocked the other party out, Miao Huanshan insidiously raised an Earth Spike. Not only did Miao Huanshan want to win, but he also wanted to kill his opponent like Zutue. However, the moment the sound of the Earth Spike's piercing through flesh rang out, the extreme branch student from the India sector was forcefully raised by 2 meters by the mind power of the fully focused referee, Kai. He forcefully pulled the student out of the Earth Spike that had just pierced into his body. Blood instantly splattered onto the ground. It also woke the student up from the pain. He screamed uncontrollably on the spot. From the looks of it, the Earth Spike had pierced between his legs. It should be very painful. It hurt just looking at it. 1. However, they did not know how badly he was injured. It was unknown for the time being whether the India sector would have a certain warrior. It would depend on the doctor's treatment. He had lost again. Haruji punched his palm with hatred. Up until now, the India sector had sent out 5 people to fight. They had fought 7 battles and lost 5. The 5 students who had gone on stage had all entered the casualty sequence. 2 of them had died in battle. On the other hand, out of the 4 people from the Wuxia sector, only 2 had entered the battle casualty sequence. In terms of numbers, the ratio of the number of people who could participate in the battle was 8 to 5. Haruji felt immense pressure. However, Miao Huanshan's appearance was also the best time for Ranghan to appear. As long as Ranghan went on stage and won this battle, the rhythm of the battle would return to Haruji's prediction. If Ranghan won, it was expected that the Wuxia sector would send Kuishi. It would be even better if they did not send Kuishi on stage. It just so happened that the India sector would be able to recover from their decline with a winning streak. Naturally, Haruji sent Ranghan onto the stage. Ranghan was a short man. He was not even 1.7 meters tall. He was slightly hunched over and wore a black sportswear. It should be his own clothes, but he was not even wearing the standard combat armor provided by the Wuxia Genetic Evolution College. He held a silver-black dagger that was about 40 centimeters long in each hand. It looked more like a short blade. He stood there with a cold aura. Miao Huanshan did not listen to the suggestion of the teacher in charge, Hu Nanzhang, to step down and let Kuishi take the arena. He wanted to fight, regardless of the outcome. He wanted to hone himself. The battle soon began. Miao Huanshan was still extremely careful. The moment the battle began, he suddenly waved his hand and stabbed out from under Ranghan's feet. However, the moment the first spike was thrust out, Ranghan's hunched body suddenly darted forward and suddenly disappeared from Miao Huanshan's line of sight. Not only did he disappear from Miao Huanshan's sight, it was as if he had disappeared from the arena and disappeared from the sight of the audience. Almost at the same time, Miao Huanshan's pupils constricted. An indescribably dangerous aura suddenly appeared in front of him. Instinctively, he instantly condensed a rock shield in front of him. The moment the rock shield appeared, Ranghan appeared in front of Miao Huanshan. He stabbed at the dual blades on Miao Huanshan's chest at lightning speed, but was blocked by the rock shield. Energy field power erupted from the 2 blades, instantly shattering Miao Huanshan's rock shield. Miao Huanshan's experience in the field was extremely rich. At the moment of life and death, another rock shield condensed close to his chest. Ranghan's eyes flashed fiercely. He slid his blades to the sides and slashed upward. There were 2 sounds of flesh being cut. Miao Huanshan's arms were cut off from his shoulders. As blood spurted out, Miao Huanshan screamed. Ranghan's saber light did not stop. It slashed towards Miao Huanshan's neck, intending to behead him on the spot. It was also at this moment that the Wuxia sector's referee, Ku Qingshan's boundless mind power, had already reached down. It was like 2 pairs of iron pincers that firmly gripped Ranghan's blades. It prevented Ranghan from beheading Miao Huanshan on the spot. Ranghan, who had a ferocious look in his eyes, let go of his hands and gave up on his dual blades. A 20-centimeter-long genetic bone blade suddenly grew between his fists and palms, stabbing towards Miao Huanshan's head and neck from the direction of his jaw. Even though the referee on duty had already intervened, Ranghan was still extremely ferocious. He wanted to kill Miao Huanshan under the referee's hands. He wanted to establish dominance. He wanted meritorious service. Ku Qingshan let out a cold snort. His boundless mind power instantly gave up on the 2 short blades and shifted to Miao Huanshan's body. He directly moved Miao Huanshan up 3 meters, avoiding Ranghan's attack. In the arena, Ranghan stared coldly at Ku Qingshan with dissatisfaction. However, he did not give chase. If he continued to pursue, he would really violate the rules of the actual combat competition. At the same time, the medical team had already rushed onto the combat arena. Severing of limbs was very common in the arena. Therefore, the medical team's treatment was very professional. They stopped the bleeding and immediately injected a painkiller. They quickly collected the severed limbs and then transferred Miao Huanshan to the emergency center for the limb reconnection surgery in the shortest time possible. This kind of severed limb was very easy to deal with under current medical conditions. It looked serious, but it was actually lighter than Kai Hongying's injuries. However, the scene was extremely bloody. Blood splattered the floor. Zhu Tui had previously killed Azari and Saluka in quick succession. The scene had not been so bloody. There had not even been much blood. However, although the battle between Rankan and Miao Huanshan did not kill Miao Huanshan in the end, the bloody scene still shocked the audience and made them exclaim. At the same time, it greatly boosted the low morale of the students from the India sector. After a short period of chaos, Rankan returned to the resting platform as if nothing had happened. He drank a bottle of level E energy restoration elixir and closed his eyes to recover his stamina. A staff member went on stage to clean up the bloodstains, so it would take a little time. The students who were watching the battle from the outer court turned their gazes to the inner area where the Wuxia sector's participants were. Everyone's attention was focused on Kui Shi. Without a doubt, even without the teacher in charge saying it, the audience knew that the next person to fight in the Wuxia sector would definitely be the second-year tiger, Kui Shi. At this moment, only the second-year tiger, Kui Shi, had the ability to fight Rankan. Under everyone's gaze, Kui Shi began to put on his armor-like combat uniform. The teacher in charge, Hu Nansong, began to make the final exchange with Kui Shi, just as most of the audience's attention was focused on Kui Shi. A tall and beautiful woman in light blue jeans and a blue surgical mask quickly stepped into the guest area and sat down. However, it still attracted the attention of some of the male comrades. Apart from her tall figure and mysterious mask, her long silver hair that was tied into a high ponytail was exceptionally eye-catching. The youthfulness of the high ponytail formed an extremely sharp contrast with the silver hair color. However, everyone's attention was on Kui Shi and they did not pay attention to her. Before she sat down, the silver-haired woman with a large mask looked toward the Wuxia sector's inner area. These two fields were very close to each other. Soon, her gaze landed on Zhu Tui, who was sleeping on the bench. It then landed on Gong Ling's thigh. It looked like Zhu Tui, who was lying on a pillow, was sleeping soundly. It was extremely comfortable and enjoyable. The expression in the masked silver-haired woman's eyes slowly changed. The moment she revealed a cold look, she slowly sat down in the guest area. At this moment, Zuo Qingqing, who had retracted her gaze from the arena, suddenly frowned as she looked at the sleeping Zhu Tui. "Linger, why did you forget to wake him up?" Zuo Qingqing pouted at Zhu Tui, who was still sleeping soundly on Gong Ling's lap. "I haven't forgotten," Gong Ling smiled sweetly. When Rankan went on stage, he had only slept for a short period of time. He had just participated in the battle and should have consumed a lot of mind power. Let him sleep a little longer. I've already recorded the battle between Rankan and Senior Miao Huanshan. The time is very short. I'll wake him up when Senior Kui Shi goes on stage in a few minutes. Hearing this, Zuo Qingqing said sorely, "That's really considerate. Whoever marries you will probably enjoy a good life. I wonder if the guy on your lap has such good fortune." "Qingqing, what nonsense are you spouting?" Gong Ling was furious.